भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्णा। On this auspicious day of Nirjala Ekadashi, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 4. Chapter is entitled Transcendental Knowledge. Text number 11. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः मनुष्यः पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः। लेडीज माताजी, ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः. Word to word translation, please repeat after me. Ye, all who, yatha, as, mam, unto me, prapadyante, surrender, tan, them, tatha, so, eva, certainly, bhajami, reward, aham, I, mama, my, vartma, path, anuvartante, follow, manusha, all men, partha, O son of Pritha, sarvashah, in all respects. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Purport. Everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma-Jyoti effulgence and as the all-pervading Super-Soul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotees both here and in the transcendental abode associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruitive workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as the Yajneshwar. And those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone. and all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect, as is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether one is without desire, the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of all fruitive results, or is after liberation, one should with all efforts try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Actually today's some other devotee was supposed to give class, but somehow Krishna had arranged me to come and speak. So please kindly bear with me for some time. This is very beautiful verse, very commonly quoted verse and very commonly misunderstood or misapplied verse in the realm of spirituality of different sects and traditions. Srila Prabhupada very emphatically and very clearly in his purport removes that misconception. Srila Prabhupada begins by saying everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. This first statement, first line of this purport itself brings out Srila Prabhupada's intentions of what he wants to clarify for all of us. Because there is a very common saying in terms when spirituality comes into discussions, that all paths lead to the same goal. This is very commonly spoken, and it's quite appealing and quite acceptable, easily acceptable understanding of the different paths of spirituality. Because this statement seems to be a very generous statement, very accommodative statement, that whatever path you want to follow, ultimately you are going to get the same destination. So why worry? Why so much competition? This my path is best, your path is useless. Why such fights? No fights. You just, whatever appeals to you, whatever you feel comfortable with, you just follow that, and you will ultimately go, because all rivers, wherever they may be, ultimately they go and meet ocean. So goal is same. Whatever river you go by, ultimately you are going to reach the ocean, isn't it? So very appealing philosophy. All paths lead to the same goal. But Krishna is not wanting to advocate this philosophy through this verse, although people use this verse for advocating this philosophy. People misinterpret or misunderstand this verse. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजामि अहम् मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते. मम वर्तम, my path, anuvartante, follows, sarvashaha, all, everyone follows my path. This is what Krishna says here. But people translate that mama vartmanu vartante sarvashaha. Sarvashaha means all, vart means path, all path, mama, they come to me. That's how they interpret, that all path, whatever path it may be, it leads to me. All paths lead to me. But this is not the understanding, because they are taking meaning not as a sentence, but jumping in the last word and again jumping back in the middle word and coming to the front first word, mama. They are not going by the way Krishna has presented. Mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. That my path, mama vartma, my path is followed by everyone. So all the spiritual realizations or different understandings of spiritual realizations which are there, as it is explained in the Vedic literature, and Srila Prabhupada also quotes here in the beginning of the purport. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwan iti shabdate. So the transcendental realization or the absolute truth is realized in three ways: brahmeti, paramatmeti, bhagwan iti shabdate. So three ways or three aspects, we can say, the Lord exists. Why Lord exists in three aspects? Why three aspects? Lord exists in unlimited aspects. Ramadi murti shukala niyamena tishtan In Brahma Samhita we hear that Lord is manifesting in so many avatars. Sometimes Lord Narsingha, Lord Ram, Varaha, so many. In fact, Srimad Bhagavatam says, as the waves of the ocean never stop, and we cannot count how many waves are there, because they never stop. If you start counting over first, second, third, fourth, it keeps going. How much we can go on counting? Similarly, Lord's incarnations, we cannot count them, because every now and then, whenever there is a need, Lord appears in so many ways. He appears in the earthly planet, He appears in the heavenly planets. Wherever there is a need, there is a requirement, Lord appears, in whether human form or anti-human or whatever, in other forms, animal forms, whatever form is required, Lord appears. So there is no end of saying that okay, only this much are the Lord's incarnation, although we categorize them as Manvantara Avatar, Leela Avatar, Yuga Avatar, Shaktavesh Avatar, Leela Avatar, like that we categorize them, but there is no end for Lord's incarnations. So Lord manifests Himself in unlimited ways. There is no end. Why such a thing? Because Lord is very personal. He is very personal with every one of us individual. So whatever desire we harbor or we carry in our heart, Lord wants to reciprocate. Srila Prabhupada brings out that point in the maybe after 50% of the purport. He describes this, that Lord wants to fulfill or reciprocate as per our aspiration, as per our desire. So if somebody wants Lord to be in the spiritual world, Prabhupada mentions that spiritual world Lord is present or reciprocates in different rasas. Mainly Prabhupada talks about 4 rasas here, about a servant, about a friend, about a master, servant, master, same, about a father, and about a lover. So Krishna, He wants to reciprocate as the desire of the worshipper is. He wants to fulfill his desire. If a devotee wants to see Lord in a particular way, Lord manifests. That's why we say different incarnations are named differently. As Lord Ramachandra, we say He's Purna Purushottam, He's Maryada Purushottam Bhagavan, we say. He is very much like a human being. He follows Maryada, limitations. When He comes and exhibits His Leelas, pastimes, He shows the restrictions of being a human. But Krishna, He doesn't show like that. He is Purna Purushottam. He shows all His powers to the full extent, that no restrictions on me. Whatever I wish for my devotees, I will behave and act accordingly. So our Lord Narsingha Dev, He comes, He doesn't show much, hardly any Leelas we see of Lord Narsingha Dev. Only one Leela we hear of is how Lord appeared and then He fought with Hiranyakashipu and then He killed him, and then He reciprocated with Prahlad Maharaj. That's it. This is one pastime we know. The Lord can perform unlimited pastimes. He has unlimited devotees. But we know very little about Him. Same way, different incarnations. So Lord, He being very personal, He wants to respect every living entity's desire in relation with Him, in the form of a love of different intensity, of different category. Lord wants to reciprocate. So He is very personal in that sense. And in the material world, also Lord reciprocates as one wants to approach Him. That's why there are different conceptions of absolute truth. One is Brahma Jyoti, impersonal Brahman, where one desires to merge into Him, to become one with the Lord. That facility is available, that you can go and merge into that light. If somebody wants to perceive the Lord as the friend of every living entities, as a Paramatma, So such a facility is also given by the Lord. You can realize Him as a Paramatma, as a friend of every living entity. And there is full manifestation, Bhagavan aspect of the Lord. That also can be realized. But it's very important to understand that all different realizations are not on the same level. All these different realizations of the absolute truth are on different levels. So this is very important to understand, that although all are transcendental realizations, all are understanding the absolute truth only, but to different degrees. So that is very important to know. Another thing, if Krishna wanted to say that everyone is following the same, everyone, whatever path they follow, they come to me. If Krishna wanted to say like this, then there was no need for Krishna to speak in different ways, in different places in the Bhagavad Gita and other places. Like in one of the places, Krishna says, Yanti deva vrata devan, pitrun yanti pitruvrata, bhutani yanti bhuteja, yanti madhya jinopima. Says, Yanti deva vrata devan. One who is worshipping Deva, demigods, what happens to him? He goes to the demigods. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. Pitrun Yanti Pitru Vrataha. Pitrun, those who worship the forefathers, they go to the forefathers. Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja. If somebody worships ghost, then he goes to the planets where the ghost stays. And Yanti Mad Jaji Api Mam. And if somebody worships me, then he comes to me. Krishna very clearly gives different destinations for different paths. Although all paths are enunciated by Krishna only speaks about demigod worship, because Krishna knows that some people are fruitive workers. They want to have material facilities, material enjoyment in this material world. So a honest and safe path is given by Krishna to them. Although there are so many dishonest and unsafe paths by which a person can become very big, very famous, very rich, there are so many unhonest and unfaithful paths. But somebody who wants to be very honest and righteous, then there is a path. You worship demigods, demigods will fulfill your desire. They will give you all material facilities. So, whatever desire one has, Krishna identifies that desire and reciprocates by supplying a system, a path, a way, a means by which he can fulfill that desire. Because Krishna is there to fulfill everyone's desires, whatever desire it may be. He wants to become a don, a big person in the underworld. Krishna provides him facilities. If somebody wants to become very righteous, Krishna gives him facilities, opportunities. So Krishna reciprocates. Whatever desire you have, I am just a servant. As a servant, Krishna is available, he is present. But he is not a neutral servant or a friend or a supplier. Especially if living entity desires something which is very harmful for himself, then Krishna arranges his external energy, Daivi Shakti, material energy, to deal with him, to teach him good lessons by putting or giving him different kinds of sufferings. Adi Devika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Adhyatmika. All different kinds of varieties of sufferings are given so that he will understand that he is treading a wrong path. Because if wrong results doesn't come, how can one understand he is treading a wrong path? So Krishna, he has arranged all different destinations for different paths. And most importantly, Krishna has removed the transcendental bliss from all the paths only one path Krishna has given the transcendental happiness to be experienced, and that is only devotional service. Only in devotional service can we actually experience transcendental bliss. No other path. How do we understand? Brahmananda, people talk about so much, the bliss of being one with God, merging into God. Brahmananda, it's considered very high by most of the spiritualists or transcendentalists. That is their goal, aspiration. They want to liberate themselves. They feel that's the ultimate thing, Brahmananda. But in understanding of spiritual happiness, Brahmananda is like a zero. It's not even beginning. It's zero on the quadrant. The spiritual happiness starts from 1, 2 and goes unlimitedly in the spiritual world. Brahmananda is just a zero. It's neither suffering, neither happiness. It's middle. That's Brahmananda. But people talk so much about it. And where in the scripture it says that Brahmananda is not satisfying to a worshipper or to a yogi or transcendentalist who is following that path. It says in the Bhagavatam 10:32, Ye anne arvindaksha vimukta maninas tvayasta bhavatam vishuddha buddhaye aruha krishnena param padam tata patanti adana drita ushmadangraya. It says, Ye anne arvindaksha vimukta maninas. These transcendentalists, they may think that they are liberated, vimukta manina, to assume that I am vimukta, I am liberated. They may think these are the prayers by Lord Brahma and all the demigods offered to Lord Krishna when he was in the womb of Mother Devaki. That time these prayers were offered by demigods, and the demigods are saying that there may be so many transcendentalists who think that they are liberated by following different paths. But what is their mistake? What is their problem? Ye anne arvinda aksha. They are separate from arvinda aksha. They have not taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So what is their destination? What happens to such people? Ye anne arvinda aksha vimukta maninas Tvai asta bhavat avishuddha buddhaya. Lord Brahma says their understanding of transcendence is avishuddha buddhi, is with impure intelligence. They are not understanding correctly transcendence. Avishuddha buddhaya. Aruha krishnena param padam. Param padam, they have given up. The lotus feet of Lord Krishna has been given up by them. So what happens? Although they get liberated, they go to the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, merge into it, but they cannot stay there forever. That's not possible for them, because there is nothing to hold. If you go in air, we know some support should be there by which we can remain in air. Otherwise, gravitation is there. One comes down, gravitational force. So similarly, when one goes to the Brahma Jyoti, there is a gravitation of aham mameti, or I am God, I am enjoyer, I am controller. This gravitation force is there. Pulls, although one is liberated in the Brahma Jyoti, but this gravitation, this desire, because desire cannot be killed from the heart of a living entity. Although liberated people, they are kind of desireless, means they don't desire anything. They just want to merge. They don't desire anything of this material world. But you cannot separate desires from living entity, because living entity is living. It's conscious. Therefore desire will be there. So they will remain there for some time, but after some time they will become bored by peace, by shanti there. There is nobody to talk. Everywhere light, light, light. You can see only light. There is nobody to talk. Be a person. And because we are person, we want to talk, we want to exchange love, reciprocate. Such desires manifest in that heart again. And when desires manifest, he doesn't know anything about spiritual world. He doesn't know God. He doesn't have understanding of relationship with the Vaishnavas, devotees. So there is no scope going up. There is only one way. Go down, back in the material world. And then again he gets into all material relationships and material desires. All again back in the network. He just falls back. Aruha Krishnena param padam tatha patanti adaha anadrita yushmadangraya. Because he has not taken hold of the lotus feet, again falls down into this material world. So a living entity cannot go away with desires. Desires is an inherent constituent of a living entity. He cannot be free of desires. So what's the solution? Desire is a problem. We desire to be separate from God, we fall down, we come to this material world. We desire to be competitor of God, we get into so many cycles of birth and death, so many spaces we go into. So desire is a problem, then desire is a solution. Prabhupada says what it takes to come back to the spiritual world again. Prabhupada says very simple. You desire to come back, that's it. This is what it takes to come back to the spiritual world. You desire that you want to go back home, back to Godhead. That's it. This is the only desire one needs to have. That is a qualification to come back to the spiritual world. Nothing more, nothing complex, nothing very vague or very complex, very tough, difficult. No, very simple. Just desire you want to come back to the spiritual world, you want to serve Krishna. Just desire like this, simple, and you will come. Krishna will arrange all, whatever difficulties may be there. We know Maya is unsurmountable. We cannot surpass Maya. But Krishna says, just hold me, take shelter of my feet. You surrender to me, I will carry you smoothly with all the difficulties. All difficulties will appear like moving behind us and will be smoothly sailing towards the spiritual abode. So Krishna is there always to help us. In every aspect Krishna is there to help us. But what is needed from our side is a sincere desire. A sincere and serious desire that Krishna, I want your mercy, I want to hold your lotus feet, I want to serve you, I want to please you. This is what I want. A serious, sincere desire in the heart is a qualification to know everything. Because Lord is there as Paramatma, Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara. He is there to help us. If we don't know something, Krishna will let us know something. Through his transcendental books, he will reveal that knowledge. Through the devotees, he will reveal the knowledge. Oh, you are making a mistake here. Please don't do like this. Do like this. Krishna will help us. Either himself through Paramatma he will speak to us, or through books he will speak to us, or through the devotees he will speak to us and tell us that we have to tread a particular way, how we have to go ahead in our spiritual life. So Krishna is right there for us, so that we can go very nicely, very wonderfully in the spiritual world. So it's very, very important that we take care of the desires which we have. Otherwise we'll be cheated. Otherwise we will be cheated of the exact goal which we are supposed to reach. We will be cheated. Because although Krishna consciousness process Srila Prabhupada has given us, it's so wonderful, so sweet, so sublime, so simple also in one sense. Although application is difficult, process is very simple. Chant the holy names of the Lord, or associate with the devotees, render service, different varieties of service. Process is very simple, but when it comes to apply the process, everything is a problem, trouble there. When it comes to apply, we are told to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So much difficulty in chanting. Today is Nirjala Ekadashi. So many devotees chant so many rounds. Some chant 64, some chant 108 rounds all throughout the day. Because nothing means you are not supposed to drink. So naturally body is not going to help do some heavy work. So simple bhajans are okay. One can go on without drinking water also comfortably. So devotees chant, but chanting is such a difficult thing because the greatest enemy is sitting right inside us, mind. So he creates amusing and interesting ideas how we can enjoy separate from Krishna in this material world. And because of being ardent disciples of His Holiness Mind Maharaj, we have been his disciples for millions of lifetimes. And now we want to become disciple of some devotee. So he feels offended, very strongly he feels offended. Hey, I was Maharaj, I was the Guru, I was the spiritual master of this person. For so many lifetimes I have been instructing him in the process of how to become happy in this material world. And now he wants to reject my servitorship, and now he wants to become servant of somebody. It's very offending for him. So he starts creating all troubles. With his intelligence, he creates different plans how to fool us, how to make us a fool, exactly a fool, when we are treading the path of spirituality. He cheats us time and again he cheats us by giving different ideas or by putting forward different allurements. He cheats us from what is the process which we have to apply in our life, and that's why we have troubles applying the process. The process is very simple: chanting the holy names of the Lord, serving the Lord, serving the devotees, having loving relationships with the devotees. Everywhere we face problem. Everywhere. When we talk about Vaishnava relationships, so much trouble we face in our heart, in our life. We cannot have a loving relation with devotees. So difficult. Because as soon as we see a devotee, immediately our mind shows, just see, although he is a devotee, you see he is wearing a tilak, kanthi, it's okay, he's been in movement for 10 years, it's okay. But still I feel he's not a proper devotee. He has this mistake or misgiving, or he doesn't behave like this. So many faults we will see. Our mind is very expert in showing the faults of others. And when we see fault of others, what happens? Respect of that person reduces in our eyes, in our heart. We cannot respect him. We say, I know this is not a very good devotee. I know so many faults he has. I know he doesn't talk nicely, he doesn't practice nicely, he doesn't do this nicely, he doesn't serve nicely, he doesn't... So many, we have tendency to find faults like this. And this is originated, these are the ideas of Mind Maharaj. So that we don't become friend with devotees. Yes, being friend with devotees in the material world is very difficult. Why? Because everyone has anarthas in their heart, and today or tomorrow they will show their anartha to us. So when we see anarthas, something will be hurting to us. Their behavior, their talk, their whatever may be hurting to us. We may not be expecting he will say something like this to me, or he will behave in this way to me. We are not expecting. We feel Vaishnava means he should be perfect, first class in his behavior. But we will see, not today, tomorrow he will show some anartha coming out from his heart. But still, if we tolerate seeing the deficiencies or defects of the devotees and still be united and love them and try to be with them and try to serve Krishna together with trying to appreciate other person wholeheartedly from the heart, seeing his good things, Krishna will help remove our own anarthas, and Krishna will help him also to remove his anarthas, and everyone will become wonderful. like a rose and a flower, fresh rose flower, how beautiful and fragrant it is. And when we keep that flower at the lotus feet of Radha Shyam Sundar, the flower becomes more beautiful because it's at the lotus feet of the Lord. That's the perfection of the flower. So our life also will become like that, beautiful, will be offered at the feet. Srila Prabhupada will offer us at the feet of Radha Shyam Sundar, and will become most beautiful, most wonderful. So yes, being in the Vaishnava community in the material world is a tough thing because everyone has anarthas, but still we tolerate it and we just don't give attention to the mistakes or the misbehaviors or the mistalks, whatever may be, understanding that no devotee has bad intentions for us, because devotee means he always has good intention for others. So no devotee has bad intentions or bad feelings or bad, he is not envious or he is not wanting to kill us or something like that, although he may have some an apparent false pride or envious feelings or whatever may be there, because everyone carries such things in the material world, and that's why we are here, to purify our heart. We are practicing the process to become perfect. So we have to tolerate and still love devotees and try to be in their association and try to serve Krishna, and Krishna will be very happy. He will see, oh, he loves my devotees, although he knows that they are not all perfect, they have some problems here and there, but still he loves them. So Krishna will surely choose us, that oh, he is a very special person, so let me take him to me, because in the spiritual world there is no envy, and he is trying to be envyless here in the material world, which is a place of envy. Krishna will surely accept us, he will surely shower his mercy upon us. So Srila Prabhupada says, therefore all attempts remain imperfect, as stated in Bhagavatam. This verse is quoted. So the only path by which we can actually experience transcendental happiness is devotional service. That's the only process by which we can be really happy, because that's addressing our constitutional nature, being eternal servant of Krishna. That's addressing that. So therefore it is very important for us to sincerely try to practice the process which is given to us, chanting the holy names, associating with the devotees, and rendering service to them and to Krishna. By doing this, whatever is required for our spiritual perfection, Krishna will give us. He will provide us. As we approach him, Krishna rewards accordingly. So if we approach sincerely to his lotus feet, to his process which he has given to us, Krishna will reciprocate and he will fulfill all our desires. Ye prasade pure sarva asha. By his mercy, by Guru's mercy, by Krishna's mercy, all asha will be fulfilled. Pure sarva asha. So this is, of course, this is Srila Prabhupada is instructing me through this particular beautiful purport and this verse, that I should sincerely approach this process with a simple, sincere desire in the heart to attain his lotus feet, to attain devotional service, to attain love for him. And if I try to follow this, then surely Krishna will choose me as the object of his mercy and kindness. And same is true for every one of us sitting here. Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, through this beautiful verse and purport, is inspiring us or advising us or a sort of advocating to us that please sincerely we should try to follow the process. Thank you all very much for your kind attention. Is there any comment, any question?